That music's gotta stop. And TikTok has the worst options for, music, but it's also kinda weird while I'm just waiting around to, like, start the stream, to be doing anything. But anyone who's joining, if you're a designer, feel free to pop in any of your UX or product design questions. I am just doing a little bit of design. I need to be working on this. Don't need to be, but I want to be working on this new kind of landing page experience for my UX survival guide website. So I'm just playing around with a few different ideas on what that could look like. Um, so yeah, I've come up with this style. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen a couple different options, but I was kind of exploring like what this style could potentially look like. Oh, I should share my screen. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a better view of Ron on YouTube. So, yeah, sorry, I'm just getting a bunch of notifications. So yeah, I was kind of exploring this option because I'll show you the site right now. Well, yeah, it's mostly on my design resources. So this is kind of what the style that I've established. I love, yeah, even though it's not the most usable thing, I absolutely love the variety of fonts that I'm using. And I love to play around with it. I get to make these little cards like individually. So yeah, it just like lets things be a lot more fun for me. So I want to keep that essence. I want to be able to do that, but I do want to make it easier to find some of the stuff that I have out. So some of my templates, following me on different stuff, whatever. So I've kind of merged these two, which is the idea you can access stuff on Figma or Notion if it's like a downloadable template versus yeah, this style is cool, but it's relatively unclear on what you're getting. And especially because I'm planning on doing a bit of a bite-sized course in the near future. I want to kind of expand uh, the clarity. I want to improve the clarity on like what UX Survival Guide is all about. I'm just gonna move my mic and see if this is better. So yeah. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, this is a little bit of a last minute kind of live, so we'll see if anybody pops on. So I figured I'd just kind of design in the meantime, honestly. And if that's cool, then it's cool. And if nobody joins, that's also cool. I usually do these on Wednesdays. So uh, this is a little bit different, a little bit off schedule, but we'll see. Mm. Yeah, but if you have any UX or product design questions, I'm a principal designer working in big tech, but I've also worked at a bunch of other places. So let me know if you have any questions. We'll just kind of see how it goes, I think. Not too concerned about it. Let's see. Hey, Tyler. Thanks. Happy Friday to you too. Glad you find my content fantastic. I've been struggling a little bit, honestly, to figure out kind of what content to post most. I've got a backlog of ideas, but yeah, just like prioritizing which ones to post. But I appreciate it. Always glad when the content's helpful. I've gotten actually quite a few messages this week about my content helping people, especially some folks who are transitioning, moving, migrating, whatever they're doing. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, maybe we'll use this one. So yeah, just doing a bit of an impromptu live situation while I sit here and design. Hopefully okay, got a question over on YouTube. Should a portfolio be text heavy or graphic heavy? Honestly, err on the side of graphics. I like text heavy. I went that route once. I actually just posted the post I put on LinkedIn today is about how I thought text heavy was the way to go, and boy was I wrong. I mean, mind you, this was like I don't know, 8 years ago maybe, but yeah, I really went in depth, really in depth in my full process, and and ain't nobody reading that. I can tell you now that I actually hired designers, nobody is reading a text-heavy portfolio. They're scanning. Your portfolio should absolutely just be scannable, both versions of your portfolio. And if you don't know what I mean by both versions, you should find the video that I posted about 2 portfolios. So yeah, it's, err on the side like, you need enough text to explain your process well, and more importantly, explain your outcomes and impact really well, but it should not be an essay by any means, and please never write an essay. If I'm gonna put these images together, I really need to color tone them together. Any cool personal projects you are working on, if any? Design-wise, no. I don't have any capacity right now to do anything design-wise other than this. I'm working on this, like, I'm working on a new design for the landing page. Like, this is the current one. Can I zoom out actually? Sheesh. My phone's pretty close to my monitor. I kinda just threw this together on Webflow, and then I've been adding different elements to it here and there. But now that I have more resources, so I'm going in and, like, making it more intentional. So yeah, just kind of fun, side project right now is just kind of being able to redesign this, and make my resources a little bit more accessible. Um, but then I'm also waiting to hear back. I might do a workshop in Bangkok in June. So I'm gonna be teaching, some yeah, I would say I guess it's for more for lower level designers, but I'm gonna be teaching a like an all day workshop type deal in Bangkok in theory if they have enough people sign up. So that could be cool. And then also content like yeah, teaching wise, I am doing I'm going to be a guest speaker on Femca's cohort in April, which I'm looking forward to. Me and Femca did a thing last month, which was really fun, really engaging. I think we had like, I don't know, almost 600 people sign up for it. Not that all those people came during the time that it was, because that'd be crazy. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to kind of like teaching to or like, yeah, being a guest speaker on our cohort. But yeah, design wise, which is probably more what you're asking, this is pretty much it. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of establish a little bit more of a clear style for resources, especially now that there's very clear popular ones that you guys like, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's what I've been working on. But yeah, if you're nice, thanks, nice flow down the page. Yeah, I want to put something to just be able to see it. It's this is great for TikTok, terrible for YouTube, but, I want something in here in the middle that's a little bit more stats. I wanna say, like, how many designers my full community is, and then, I don't know. I guess beyond that, I can't think of any other good stats to kind of put, but a lot of people interpret when they hear UX survival guide, they think it's like a one and done thing, right? Which, to be fair, a guide is a guide, right? A single thing. But my whole thing is that, it's not, so that I like kind of what I've landed on here, which is, it's bunch of different types of content. Like, basically, my whole thing is, like, I want my content to find you where you are rather than having to come and find my content. So if you're big on TikTok, great. I'm over there. If you're more of a Medium article reader, great, super. There's the content can be found there. And then, yeah, just in terms of kind of the different like, the articles that have been created or that sorry, not articles, but resources I've been creating are a little bit more yeah, I think I have them right now. It's like, "Oh, you can find articles. Oh, you can find, guides and stuff like that." But I think it's more relevant tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's more relevant to find stuff that relates to your current position And then whether it's a guide, whether it's an article, whether it's whatever, if you're a senior, you wanna see all resources relevant for seniors. If you're working on your portfolio, you wanna see everything related to helping you with your portfolio, right? So, I think there's just a better way to allow you guys to filter things down. I'm also gonna include a search on the actual this is like a snippet, little I don't know. You're not gonna see all the resources on the first page, but then just kind of allowing you guys to do a full search. Because one of the things is, like, I'll make a video or an article or something, and then I'll reference, like, in my videos, I'll show, like, this. I'm like, "Go find this on my website." Um, because I don't have a current search right now where you could just type in, I don't know, portfolio or lead designer guide or something like that and be able to find anything. So I need to make that easier. But realistically, it takes time. That's why I haven't yet. It just takes time. So, we're getting there slowly but surely. And also, is it, like, super okay, yes, to content being tailored to position, perfect. If you can think of any other categories too, um, let me know. But these are the big ones for me. It's like, I'm getting started, I'm aspiring. Now that I think maybe new isn't, like, maybe I need to do new resources because it's, like, new to design. But yeah, for juniors, then it's the starting out, it's the learning guide. For seniors, yeah, it's, brief guides, it's, how to level up, portfolios, and I do have things for leads now, so actually I should probably include leads in here. I'll pop it in for now so I don't forget. I probably don't need the 4, do I? Because then it's just redundant. Leads. Yeah, it's redundant. We don't need 444. Seniors, juniors, you'd get it. You'd get it. Mm, yeah, I'll think about it. But yeah, um, what website is this, please? Well, it's not live. But if you can go to the current version right now where you can find all my resources. Sorry, I know that's not, great. But, yeah, it's uxsurvival.guide, is the site that I'm redesigning right now. So this is the current one, you can find it. There's the URL up there, you can't see it, but yeah, uxsurvival.guide. Um, and then that has working on redesigning just to make it a bit more clear, make the popular stuff easy to find. I don't know. Yeah, there's just some improvements that I definitely need to make, so that's what I'm working on. It's cute. Oh, looks good. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you guys didn't yeah, if you're just joining now, I was between these 2 styles, because yeah, I just showed you the current one, right? It's like, I love font variety. I just love to play around with different fonts, so, like, the design of the website, as I know it's not, like, the most readable or usable, it's not super utilitarian, but I don't want it to be because I get to design these little cards, like, especially, like, this little AI one, right? Like, so cute. Drew that little robot, adorable. And I just get to play around with, like, the design of each of these cards, which is just it's fun for me, and so I wanna keep making sure that I can do that. But then I was like, "Okay, well, I wanna be more colorful as well." So, if you look over here, I'm expanding my color palette. I think I had these top 3, but now I'm tripling it. Like, we're getting real colorful. I'm really pushing myself because I am a monochromatic girly. Oh my goodness, because let me show you my, like, actual, like, personal website. Look at the color, guys. It's non-existent, right? Okay, that's way too far out. But, yeah, so, completely devoid of color, and most anything I ever do for myself is completely devoid of color. So I'm really trying to push myself, to, do more color, in this, but I don't want it to be the point to where it's hard or easy or, difficult to kind of navigate or understand or anything like that. So, yeah, this I was like, "Okay, here's what I've done currently. Let's slap in some new colors." Great. Then I was trying a little bit more of a clear style with, like, you'll see some CTAs, using, the colors, like, in different, opacities, but then having it clear kind of what the resource maybe is, if it's a video, if it's not, da, da, da. And I was like, I didn't really love either one personally. So I really went for a combination. So yeah, this is what all of the resources will essentially look like. I still get to play around with all the fonts with and kind of illustrations and stuff, which is exactly what I want. But then it's like, "Oh, this is a Substack article," or, "Oh, this is a Notion thing." And then, you have a clear CTA about where you're going, and so expectations are just a little bit more set for when you click on the thing that you're gonna get. So, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with, like, how it turned out, and then we'll just see how it goes. I still have to update, like, the actual, cards of those and then see how it, like, really looks all together. Because I was using color to emphasize certain ones as well, so I might lose a bit of that if, everything is colorful, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So maybe job search, what tips, do's, and don'ts for job search. Um, okay, let me just see. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. You are okay, just making sure I didn't miss any other ones. Do's and don'ts for job search. Honestly, I see a lot of content around job search. Do you guys just wanna stare at this? I guess I'll just leave it up because I can't design and talk at the same time, really. Um, I see a lot of content for job searches, and my biggest kind of like, "Oh, I don't think I would do it that way," is the shotgun effect that most people are doing, and maybe that's an absolute total requirement, like, maybe there's no other way to go about it for some folks, but the people who are creating spreadsheets and they have goals to apply to 100 jobs a day and for 3 months straight and then seeing what, what comes out of it, I think that's a really bad approach. Not only are you not being uh, you're not curating or not really looking at the companies that you're applying for in good detail to see if they're even good companies to apply for, that you want to be working for. Like, what type of environment are you? Yeah, are you qualifying them in any way? But additionally, like, you're falling into the sand pit with, like, other hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of designers. You are doing no better than them. You are not helping yourself stand out in any way. You're just, if you even pass the what is it, AFS systems or I don't know, the inundated systems that are out there that's just like, "Oh, when you apply, you do this, when you apply, you do this." For me, I would take much more of a, like, person-to-person approach. I would be reaching out to people, connecting with people on LinkedIn, trying to utilize my network. I would be, like, as I'm applying for very selective jobs and trying to make myself stand out, I would pick probably, let's say, 5 companies that I really wanted to work for, and this is if I'm really like, "I need a job." I'd probably pick 5. I would, and if I saw that they had a job posting listed, I would find the person who's probably closely related to that role or a designer who works at the same level and then say, "Hey, I saw that this was, an open position, like, I'd love to get your take, da, 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 da," whatever, offer them something, say, "Hey, I love the content that you're creating," or I don't know, boost their article or something, I don't know. Try to do something for them, but then say, trying to kind of get in that way, like, utilize the person-to-person approach rather than just blast effect job opportunities. I don't think it's effective. I see these people out there, "Oh, I've had 20,000 applications and I have a 3% return rate." It's like, that no, that's a lot of work, for very low quality, and you're putting yourself in a bucket with just another 100 grains of sand being designers. So I'd really try to, like, find the people who are probably hiring for the positions or get insights on what it takes to get into that position. I would be contacting the people in whatever way that I could to try to get more information about it, making my name known, like other ways than just the application process. And I'd be spending more than half a second on yeah, on a company, if that makes sense, on a single application, a single company, because I know that's just not the way to stand out. It's just not. It's a referral market right now, And, you need to find other ways than just, passing on your links or passing on your whatever to, yeah, to be noticed, honestly. And I think for me, that's the do's and don'ts, but take that with a huge grain of salt that I am not currently looking for a job, and I haven't had to look for a job in this, like, kind of crazy market. So, I hugely caveat that with, but that is where I would be spending my time. Also, just it's proven to be fruitful for me in the past as well. Like that is how I get myself into positions I actually wanna be in versus just land a job and then probably 6 months later needed to find a different job because that job sucks because I didn't qualify it. And I've heard of a lot of designers come to me with that kind of story as well. So, um, yeah, I don't know if that's helpful. But here we are. Mm, mm, mm. I do see a question over on YouTube. Can portfolios be used to increase our market value? I don't know what you mean by market value. Portfolios have existed like as long as I've been in UX, which is about 13 years now. And yeah, I don't know what you mean by market value. Like, do you mean if you have a good portfolio, can you make more money? If that's what you're asking, then yes. Because the better your assets, the better your interviews, the better your everything, the better position you're individually going to be in. But I don't know, yeah, market value as, like, designers as a whole, I'm not sure, if that's what you mean. So, let's see. You're asking where I got inspiration for this design I'm working on. I saw some bento boxes. There's like a couple bento websites that I found for inspiration, but I also just use Pinterest. So some of the layouts that I'm trying, I just like grab this screen. Yeah, I'm over on Pinterest a lot. It comes up on my I have a dedicated board to web design, UX, UI design. So in terms of like the layout and stuff like that, I am yeah, sometimes just jabs or snag some wireframes. Wow. The actual like typography style that I've gone with, never in my life. I've never seen it. I just love fonts. And honestly, if anybody came to me with this design and it was really important they succeeded in like metrics, measurements, stuff like that, I'd probably have a lot to say about how that probably doesn't help. But this is for me and for designers, and so I think it still fits the brief of what I want it to achieve. And it's also fun for me, which is super important. So, yeah, the use of kind of like a lot of different types of photography, that's probably the biggest like design no-no, but I'm doing it anyways. And that's just me. I've just always loved fonts. I've had many a desktop backgrounds that are just a variety of different font styles, stuff like that. So I actually didn't find anything that was inspiration other than maybe actually my Pinterest feed, my very curated over probably 15 years Pinterest feed. Because what I get on there sometimes is a lot of different awesome font recommendations. So maybe that's like subconsciously where it came from. But then this illustration style, obviously it's become super I think yeah, super popular from like Notion and stuff like that. And I just love it. I just think it's super cool. I wanted to do something that was still I feel I can't draw, I can't illustrate, I can't no. I can't do anything, but what I can do is piece together illustrations, that I find are really cool or take parts of illustrations that I really like. So I wanted to kind of incorporate I just wanted to yeah, I just wanted to make I knew it was gonna be educational and it's all gonna be about UX design. But I wanted to find this like very like a little bit over the top kind of designed approach because it's for designers, so literally why not? But something that also felt like fun and very inviting without being kind of childish or very like too youthful, I guess, too youthful. Anyways, that's what I was trying to land on. I used to do brand design way back in the day when I used to work for an agency, used to do like mood boards and create brand guidelines, all that kind of stuff. Couldn't do it now. Probably couldn't do it to the level of quality that's needed now, but there was a stint in my career where I did that, which was fun. Um, yeah. Any tips for presenting a design challenge in the interview process? Quotation or yeah, parentheses entry level. Presenting a design challenge in the interview process. So like they've given you a design challenge. Um Yeah, I mean, the number one thing that I always look for when designers that part of the interview happens, the design challenge part, is first and foremost, you better not show me your solution yet. I wanna know what type of research or questions you had, and therefore what type of investigation you did ahead of touching Figma or wireframes or drawing or doing any active design, anything. I want to see your thought process in understanding the problem space to the best of your ability. Even when you can't answer the questions, obviously, design challenge, you don't have access to, data insights, bunch of stuff that you have, but still want to see the questions that you have that you would like answered to best present your design solution. So that is absolute number one. It's also number one because most people don't do it. Most entry people don't do it. They kind of like, okay, here's my designs. This is why I did it. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I want to know that you understand the audience. I want to know that you understand the goal of what the design solution is trying to achieve or what problems it's trying to address. So I want a little bit of a context intro to whatever, yeah, pitch you're pitching. Then when it comes to the actual pitch, yeah, I just want to see your rationale needs to be quite strong. So you should be using when you're entry level, you should just be using best practices, or if you looked at kind of competitor sites, like what they're doing. Um, if you ever say it's because it's visually interesting or any sort of that type of language, that's not the way to go. So yeah, it needs to be backed by evidence, even very light evidence, like this is best practices, this is what the big guys do, this is what I found on Google, like whatever. So yeah, always explaining your rationale. Um, and I would say, yeah, those are my two big tips when you're kind of presenting a design challenge back for sure. Investigation, uh, rationale and intention, and anticipated impact. So because that just shows that you understand the problem space. So it's like, here's the design solution. I think it will really help users understand X or complete X task or whatever it may be. It just kind of reinforces that you understand the problem that you're designing for, you know? So, yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Another ask for the link. Maybe I can just, if I leave TikTok, what happens? I think I've done it before. I'm gonna grab a link to the site because as I have it up, I know you guys are just gonna continue to ask for it. Survival. I just cleared my cache, so cool. I'm gonna drop this in the chat maybe? Or can I not? Am I not allowed to chat? Can I not message you guys? Really? Ugh, well, that's that's annoying. Maybe I can do it this way. 2 seconds while I get you guys the URL for this. There we go. If you want it that way, there it is. Cool. And then, yeah, if you're over on YouTube. Um, okay, should I create 2 portfolios, one for UX and UI design roles, another one for product design roles? I've covered this topic a lot, like what's the difference between a UX UI designer and a product designer? Nothing. Nothing these days. Nothing. They're very interchangeable. The roles and responsibilities are extremely interchangeable. The way you need to curate your portfolio is against your ideal roles, your ideal position. So if you're seeing more often you're attracted to roles that are labeled as a product designer, call yourself a product designer. If you still see them saying UX UI, label yourself as a UX UI designer. It's all about curating all of your content towards your aspirational position. And it's not about, and then that's just one step. That's just labeling yourself. So that's like whatever. You can just take 2 seconds to do that. The actual orientation of what you emphasize in your portfolio should reflect the roles and responsibilities of those ideal positions. So your case study should emphasize, I don't know, if you're looking at roles that are really heavy in you being able to do validation research, your case studies better have validation research in them. I just shared my last, was it my last one? Yeah, my last issue in my newsletter was all about this. Like, how do you take that next career step? Um, and it's included, and included in there is how you position your portfolio to get to the next step that you wanna land in. So check that out if you want. By the way, that'll be this link. Oh, can't zoom in. So you can access that here, or you can get it through the newsletter. Been growing a lot of people in the newsletter, which is cool because I've completely changed the format and you guys seem to like it, which is awesome. Because there's like very actionable, practical like challenges that I put in there. It's like a month. I share this monthly, but to tackle if you have a problem you're facing it, it's like very like do this week and then see if you make progress. I'm really enjoying writing the format, and I'm just glad that you guys like it as well. Okay, I saw a couple other questions. Do you think developers will be in trouble because of AI? Now you can upload a Figma to like, yeah, a design tool. Um, just like designers, developers are gonna have to adapt as well. Just like we're not gonna need to design, 5 iterations of a single component to experiment on that because AI will be able to do that. Same thing for developers. They're not gonna need to do tedious, iterative coding because AI will be able to take the place of that. Will that mean that they have to focus on more complex tasks and parts of the build? Yeah, absolutely. But all of our roles are going to evolve as AI becomes more and more advanced. But you can drag and drop Figma into some tools right now, but that doesn't mean it's coded well. That doesn't mean there's any SEO in place. It doesn't mean it's performative. It doesn't mean anything. So it's still a little while before we're going to just see a drag and drop. And also, designers are not going to design in Figma for that long. They're not like I said, you're not going to have to move individual pixels around. You're going to be able to work with more kind of systematic, like design systems, but think of it as you're kind of building a live prototype. I think there's gonna be a little bit of a blend. What was that? Was there a hat on my screen? Um, yeah, a blend of roles because, UX or designers are gonna be enabled to do things that have more code base to them, and therefore developers won't be as needed to maybe do some, like, prototyping or testing for more advanced products. Or sorry, simpler products, but yeah, that just means developers are gonna have to pivot. Not pivot, I would just say evolve, adapt. Same thing with us, same thing with copywriters, same thing with researchers. Everything to do with product spaces, everybody's gonna need all roles are gonna be impacted for the most part. But not tomorrow. It's gonna be a minute. Do you have any advice for somebody trying to get out of an agency with all projects under NDA? So I assume you mean you're getting out of an agency, but you wanna be able to show some of the work. I have a full video dedicated to that, um, all about NDA, and it really of course, it's subject to the stipulations and the policies of your NDA, of course, but, there are ways that you can get around it. Now, some NDAs are just mega super strict. Can't show anything, sucks for you. Like, you gotta be really careful about when you sign those NDAs up front. If there's no flexibility to them whatsoever, yeah, you just gotta know you're not walking out being able to show anything. However, that is quite rare for something or for an NDA to be that strict. as I'm saying this, I am trying to find the video so that I can share it. Um, yeah. So I will share this, a link. I had to scroll pretty far. I guess you coulda just searched it. If you type NDA into TikTok, you'll find my video on it, but here's the link. There's recommendations about how you can kind of skirt around an NDA, but realistically, it's just like share your work without breaking your agreement. So, yeah, try some of those things. Best thing to do though is try some of those things and then check with your HR folks or whoever would kind of approve that before you leave. That's the safest way to do it so they don't come after you, but also it's up to your discretion, like how you want to go about it. But there's definitely ways to do it. Sometimes it's just about removing the actual company name and logo. Sometimes it's just about not sharing anything that isn't live yet. So maybe you have to wait 6 months, whatever. Sometimes it's not sharing, most of the time, it's about not sharing specific numbers. So no company ever wants their actual anything to do with their users, anything to do with their actual data and performance shared anywhere. So if you could just make those numbers more vague, that's a tactic as well. So yeah, anyways, there's some tips and tricks in that video if you want to check it out. Um, okay, somebody's giving advice: create fake projects that replicate real ones. Mm, I would use that as a last resort. I think it's actually good advice if you really can't get around it, but, fake projects, bar none, are less credible than real ones. So if you can still kind of cut back on some of the specifics of your, because usually they don't care about you sharing your process, they don't care about sharing, some of the ways of working, like, whatever. Most companies really don't care about that. What they do care about is sharing features out to the public before they're launched, because that's just ripe for competitors, like getting in front or whatever, or like I said, any specific numbers about their performance. So I'd use that as a last resort, especially because, like, if you're doing it well, you have some stakeholder input, you have some maybe even testimonials from that company or whatever. It just gives your working for a real company with real constraints and real stakeholders gives your uh, oh my gosh, your case study more legitimacy. So it isn't it like if all else fails, yes, turn it into a fake project and kind of, go that direction, but I'd use that as a last step, I think. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, some people, yeah, not even able to show the name. Yeah, but I guess maybe when you say fake project, it's not like completely overhaul it, but just hide it. Hide the name, hide the logo, hide the switch out the brand colors, stuff like that. And then as long as you don't have, yeah, too many specifics about what the company is, generalize it a little bit. And always caveat too. If you have an NDA project that you're showing, say some of the content has been altered because of NDA, and there's not industry who wouldn't fully understand that. So, yeah. Always do that just because too, if people are like, this is a little strange. So talking about this a little weird. It's like, because NDA, because NDA, right? Makes sense. So yeah. Um, do you use leverage AI in your design process? I do. I do leverage AI in my design process, and if you guys want to as well, I'm a big user of ChatGPT. I used to use Gemini, but large language models. It doesn't have to be a particular one, but I was going to go to Medium because I put an article together, which I will share with you what it is. Yeah, how to effectively use AI in your product design process. So in here, I talk about how to utilize it in early stage research. I've got a lot of prompt recommendations in here as well. See, I even say I use Gemini here, but yeah, a lot of prompt recommendations in here about talking or figuring out what the customer segments are, identifying the competitors, identifying personas, bunch of good stuff in here. My favorite, because I run a lot of workshops, is the synthesis, faster workshop synthesis, which is just so nice because literally I run workshops with hundreds of people sometimes. And if you can imagine the amount of ideas that come out, it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. So, Miro specifically, I think FigJam is doing this as well and a few other tools, but they allow you to sort, categorize, theme, whatever, group ideas together. And they also create kind of like a summary. So, so nice. And then, yeah, understanding some of your primary use cases and flows. Even Miro allows you to create flows that you can then iterate. Lots of good stuff. So if you haven't seen this article, definitely go check it out because it'll really help you. This is what it's called. And like, just definitely follow me while you're over there because then you'll find more articles and that'll be good. Bup, 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 bup. Yes. Cool. Let me check. Perfect. Yeah. One more question. Can you get a better pay if you position yourself as a product designer plus UX writer? Ooh. Bar none, like, I don't know. I haven't done the I don't know. The first thing that pops into my head is that an amount of UX writing is expected of every product designer. So of course it would really depend on the company and what type of role if they have dedicated writing roles, or not. But honestly, I think it would just be a lot more work for probably not a significant increase in pay. Like, it would be worth it. If I had to speculate, full actual just speculation, I think it would be a lot more requests coming your way. "Hey, can you do a bit of writing? Hey, can you do a bit of designing? Hey, can you know?" And you'd probably end up spreading yourself too thin, and you wouldn't see a largely significant payback because you don't actually have the capacity. You don't have double capacity to do product design and UX writing. So you're not able to do more for them. And it's very rare that if you're a product designer, you don't already sit at full capacity because product designers do a lot. Like I said, they do a bit of writing, they do a bit of research. Sometimes they even do a bit of coding, bit of branding. Really depends on the company, but for the most part, yeah, it's there's already a lot of responsibilities in the job that I'd have a hard time believing you could get more money to add to it like that. And again, it's because UX writing to a certain degree is already expected of product designers slash UX UI designers. So yeah, that's just how it be. That'd be my guess. I couldn't tell you if that was a for sure or not. How many of you guys detached components today? Detached a component today. This is my own design, so I get to do whatever I want, but did you guys do it? And were you supposed to? If you were working on actual work? I'm very rarely in Figma these days because my work or my role is very strategic. So I do a lot of I don't like this. I don't like this more than the other version. It's too many. It's too many squares. Like I like that there's more photos, if it's a little bit more variety, but no, 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 no. We're going back. We're going back to the other one. Just wanted to try it out. And again, because of Pinterest. Just had to see, had to explore. Also, the anticipation is that this is probably a little bit of a GIF or a video or something that kind of plays. So we'll see. Also, if you see me going like this, it's because my phone's right there, and I can't see anything. So that's that. But yeah, I wanted to do something, and again, utilizing more font to do it. Something like I counted once. I'd have to recount, but like I don't know. 6. Maybe these are counters or something. Something like this. Big number. I guess I could try to zoom out so you guys can see it. Then it sucks for YouTube though. And this could be like, it's getting dark. I thought it would stay lighter for later. Resources. Not downloaded, but I don't know. Used. What do I do now? What's the language that I use now for my? Because I know I contemplated this for a while. Not in this one. Portfolio, maybe. Views. I guess I'm using. I don't know. See, I'm already writing. I have to find the right terminology for this, and I'm just speaking about it. It's kind of funny. I don't know. Used. No, I don't know. I'm just getting the idea out. I don't actually know what the verbiage is going to be yet. And then something like, the thing is as well, is as much as I like to say designers, I get a lot of messages from researchers as well. I don't know, UX community, something like that. It's not a community though. And then it'd be cool to say of designers, researchers. No, right. I don't get messages from writers though. But I did do a calculation once that it was something like 30,000. Now, did I look through every single follow, every single like to see if there's duplication across the different platforms? No. So could be far less than this, but what do you do? So did you guys do anything exciting? Did you guys have any wins this week when it came to design stuff? Were you able to pitch any good design solutions that you got buy-in for? Be very curious. Or if you want to share an epic fail, that's cool too. Or something you need to go back to the drawing board for. But yeah, what's the font of the big title? This one? This is Glamour Absolute. And I think there's, but it's at a regular font weight. But yeah, Glamour Absolute, which I use it for a lot of my videos and stuff. Yeah, I like it too. It's a bit too, I wish it was less wordy. I'm probably going to play around with this a little bit more, but as you can see, some of the other fonts are definitely not as legible, or they just wouldn't work for that many words. Because they're more decorative. But that's what I got for now. I didn't want it, my base text, my utility text, I guess I would call it, is Inter. I love Source Sans. I really don't love Open Sans so much, but Source Sans is always my go-to. Sometimes I do, maybe it's just literally Source Sans. It's been my go-to forever because they have so many different font weights as well. I always go for a font that has a black font weight versus just going up to a bold. But yeah, these are if you guys want to see my go-to fonts. We've got Modak. I'll do them real big. Let's go. I don't know. Let's go 80. So you got Modak, which it's bubbly. It looks like the font is almost bubbling out. Love that. Look at that 3. Oh, look at that 3. So nice. I actually have font prints, just literal prints of just a letter or a number hung around my house. Pretty dedicated fonts. And actually, fun fact, I used to do calligraphy for money. So, like, dip dip ink pen, um, calligraphy, and I got to the point where I was making money off of it. I actually started it because I was so sick of being on computers all the time, and I wanted to do something, non-digital. Oh my god, analog is the word I was looking for. And, yeah, really loved it, really enjoyed it. Practiced in depth. Okay. So, okay, another font. We'll zoom in on one. Oh, okay. Another one is Oi. Am I pronouncing any of these correctly? I don't know, but I really like this font as well. It's chunky. Um, yeah, and then of course it also I mean, even the letters had sorry, even the numbers had like a serif on them, which is super fun. So yeah, you can see the side by side of the two. Love and Oi. Yeah. What's another one? Oh man, Playfair has also been just it's been, Playfair display has been my go-to for so long. But I love the black version. And you guys know where when you'll know you see this font, this ampersand. I don't know if you guys. Oh man, if yeah, this ampersand is used so much. Even if they don't use the actual font for Playfair. But yeah, if you ever see this ampersand, it is Playfair display font. And I can spot it from a mile away. What's another one that I use? Oh yeah, my biggest go-to and actually what my logo is Rubik One. Oh, let's not do ampersands anymore because we love ampersands. Oh my gosh. Fun fact. Fun fact. I had to do a customer service call to like reset my password. Something happened. I think it was my phone, it was my phone account password or something like that. And I included an ampersand in my password. And I was on the phone with the customer service lady, and I was like, 1, 2, 3, ampersand, exclamation point. And she's like, "What?" I was like, 1, 2, 3, ampersand. She's like, "Ampersand?" And I was like, yeah, ampersand." And she's like, how do you spell that?" And I was like, "No, no, no, like the and symbol, the and, the you see it used in place of and sometimes, like the symbol for that." Oh my gosh. It was actually like probably about 5 minutes that we had to go back and forth because and I've never included an ampersand in any password ever again because of that, like trying to explain what ampersand was, but it has stuck with me for so long. Let's see. There's a question. Does having a popular company in your job history help in job applications? Um, sorry, on the ampersand thing. In Italian, it's called commercial E. Commercial E. I guess. Hmm. I mean, it's yeah, like a backwards E. Yeah, commercial E. Interesting. That's even more confusing because at least in English it has its own like dedicated word. um, but yeah, same confusion if people don't know what it's called, right? But at the same time, it's also like, why would you know what it's called? Because yeah, who's out here like technically using ampersands? But yeah, does having a popular company or job history help with job applications? The answer I wish I could say is no, but yes, it absolutely does. If you have Google, if you have Facebook, if you have whatever on your resume, on your LinkedIn, on whatever, yeah, it absolutely helps boost you because there's this kind of sentiment that, hey, if that big company has hired you, you got through that process and you worked for them, you must be of high quality. So, is that true? True or not? But yeah, I think bar none, for the most part, especially recruiters who don't know a lot about design, but yet they are the first, like, gatekeepers for hiring managers to see, the designers in the first place. Yeah, they'll be like, "Ooh, Google. Ooh, Facebook. Ooh, any of the FAANG companies or any recognizable company." Like here, it would be like Philips or, something along those lines. It's like, "Oh, if you've worked there, Yeah, it does boost your credibility, your first impression credibility. Will it get you fully hired? Like, can you rely on it to get you all the way through? No. But first impressions wise, yeah, definitely. You can for sure. So, um, let's look at some of my other fonts. What? Oh yeah, my dog just came up, so if you hear him, I'll finish off. I'm gonna share some of these last fonts just to continue to nerd out, and then I think I will end the stream. But yeah, this is Erica One. Also love it. I'm using it up here in letters. Actually, letters might be better to look at because of how they show off. I use this a lot in Capcase as well. Oh my gosh, that's not Erica. So what is it? No, it is Erica One. Okay. It's just the actual words that I'm using. Dexter. He comes up the stairs and then he's so thirsty and I have to refill his water like 100 times. Yeah, Erica One, but I use it in Capcase a lot because it just looks really nice. It's a very solid square font, but it still has a lot of character to it. So I just love it. Just love it. It's just super nice. Okay, what's another one? I think I only have a couple more that I use. Oh, for my handwriting like note font, I use rock salt. Is it the most readable? Woo, no. But I like that it looks like actual okay, it wouldn't be in Capcase. But it actually looks like something that somebody would write, especially like look at the difference between the capital R and the like lowercase r. It like kind of is it's a mix of capcase and lowercase, like in its lowercase form. So it's just yeah, I think it just has a lot of character, super nice. And I already showed you Glamour, which is this one up here. Glamour Absolute. I think that's pretty much it. Oh wait, no, one more, right? Did I do this one? Yes, I did. This one. Yeah. This is a Pinterest find as well. Liber, which I think was super popular for a little while. I use it sparingly because it's quite hard to read. Yeah, it's cool looking, and even like the numbers are really cool looking in this. So I'd probably use it for this, but the actual words itself, it is quite difficult to read. It's another one that kind of displays Capcase as well. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to continue to play around with this a little bit more. Um, so, okay, I have one more question. Let me just check TikTok really quick as well. Yeah. One more question. If you don't mind, could you share your design process? Just like with anything else, and this is a tip to take away if you're kind of a more junior designer. Stop sharing my screen before. Because I'm gonna stop the stream in just a minute. There is no single design process. If you've heard of the double diamond, oh my gosh, hang on. I can't do both. How do I change the display? I'll just flip the camera. There we go. I don't know how to get rid of the little view on TikTok. But yeah, there is no singular design process. You have a diverge where you're just going and exploring and doing a lot of research trying to figure it out. And then you have a converge, right? Where you start to kind of do some of the design execution. And that is it. The actual methodologies that you employ in your process should very much depend on the problem space at hand. So, but with 13 years in the industry, my my toolkit is broad and vast. But so a lot of the times, like you'll find me jumping into spreadsheets, doing a bit of an analysis based off of like qualitative input, trying to find some sentiment. I don't know if that's important. I'll do it. If I need to do some, this is far more advanced, but like a contextual inquiry, going and talking to some of our partners, I'll do that. I'll put a research proposal together, and I'll say why we need to do it and what value it can bring, and I'll go do that. Maybe I'll go talk to our CS agents. Whatever I need to do in my process to get to the crux and the core of what is causing the problem. And then when it comes to the actual, like now you're doing design process, great example projects that I'm working on, I'm overseeing. I oversee projects for the most part rather than do them, but I create the plan for them. It needed a heavy emphasis on information architecture. So one of the deliverables that I put as a part of the plan was pure information architecture. No visuals, no designs, no wireframes, nothing. Just a bunch of boxes, just a bunch of yeah, architecture for the content and layout of the actual flows. And that was important for that project. Is it important for every single project? Absolutely not. And would I advise anybody spend that amount of time on that for just a normal kind of day-to-day design problem? No. But the project needed it and it proved to be very valuable. Um, so yeah, it just really depends. Like if you have a design system in place, you're trying to tackle some friction points within a particular page. Do you need to wireframe ahead of just jumping into utilizing your design system high fidelity? A lot of times, no. So, anyways, the TLDR and the not helpful answer is that there is no single design process. You should look to explore the problem space and then figure out what deliverables make the most sense to propose your design solution, right? What do you need to kind of have people come along your process with and understand in order to see the value in creating that solution for the users? So, as always, as many designers say, it depends. But yeah, I can't share kind of a one all be all um, design process approach. So, great question. Great questions. You asked a lot. Sahil, if I'm saying that correctly, appreciate you asking the questions over on YouTube. Really good ones. And with that, please sign up for my newsletter. If you haven't, go check out this website that I've been sharing. Check out the old version so that when I share the new version, you can see the difference and you can tell me about it. But yeah, I'm trying to overhaul a bunch of my resources and stuff like that. I'm also getting sorry, TikTok is just like, please tell me you're human. Um, but yeah, I'm overhauling this with a bunch of different stuff going on. So if you want to like follow along that process and stuff like that, definitely go check out the website now. Sign up for my newsletter because that's where I'll be sharing, even like trying to get feedback from you guys and stuff. So um, I think that's all I have. Yeah. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.